pH. All right, I've been using that term yesterday. What is pH? All right, pH is the value used to express the acidity. Okay, so we use pH to see if it's how acidic a substance is. Okay, anything less than 7 would be an acid. Anything greater than 7 is a base. And right at 7, we call that neutral. All right. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Trying to find. I hear myself echoing a little bit. You might want to mute yourself if you're in the Google Meet. Just a heads up.
Is that me?
There we go.
You sound great. Hours.
All right, cool. So that's our pH. All right, it indicates hydronium. We talked about hydronium yesterday. So the stronger the acid, the higher the pH, or the higher the H. So the stronger the acid, the higher the H. Now, what I want you to copy down today is I wrote down 8 different equations. Okay? Wrote down 8 different equations for you guys to copy down. It's kind of a lot, so we're just going to start at the bottom for now. Okay, we're going to start at, so we have a square. Okay, we created a big square. It's my pH square. Okay, and within my pH square, I have pH in the bottom left corner. All right, and this is what I would like you guys to copy down. All right, so I got pH in the bottom left corner and POH in the bottom right corner. I got OH in the top right, and I got H plus in the top left. Got H plus in the top left. So we're going to do this nice and slow. I'm going to go on the bottom. So the bottom 2 pegs, it's the easiest ones. So if you are starting off with a pH value, if you have a pH value and the question says, what is the POH value? So what is the POH value? If you're starting here and you're finishing here, you're going to go across and use this equation. So I would write these 2 equations down. All right. And vice versa. If you start at POH and the question says, hey, what's the pH? You're going to use this equation. You're going to go left. So this is the easiest one because it's 14 minus whatever your number is. All right. So 14 minus 7, well, your answer is 7. 14 minus 10, that's 4. Okay. So the POH is equal to 14 minus the pH, and the pH is equal to 14 minus the POH. Okay, so there's the first 2. All right, we're going to work our way around going clockwise. So I'm going to focus on the POH. Okay, the POH leads up to the OH. Okay, so just so you guys see, the POH leads up to the OH. And these are your 2 equations. Okay. Oh. If you guys have questions, you can just unmute yourself. Let me go back. Or I thought I heard.
You got any paper in here?
Paper like
fresh. Like notebook paper?
Notebook paper? That should be. Do you know where my calculators usually are? In the front.
Never mind. Looks me up.
Behind Christian. There should be paper up in there.
Ty got me some. We're good, Mr. Bowers.
Sweet.
That's all I had to ask.
Fair enough. All right. So once again, this is, if I'm going to zoom out real quick. We already got my bottom of the square done. All right, we're working on the side here. All right, we're working on the side, and here are the two equations on the side. All right, so OH is equal to 10 caret. So the caret means exponent. I wrote caret because that's what you got to plug in the calculator. All right, so 10 to the caret negative POH. That's key, negative POH. That's if you're going POH to OH. And going backwards is negative log of the OH value. That what occurs when you work backwards. Okay. So hopefully you got that down. So we got two sides of our square done, right? We got two sides. Next, we're going to focus on the top. Okay, so my top equation is my H to OH. Now, I would highly recommend actually using parentheses. You always should use parentheses on these equations. Okay, so the OH is equal to parenthesis 1 times 10 to the negative 14th power, parenthesis, over parenthesis whatever your hydrogen concentration is. So that's if you're going to the right. If you're going to the left, you're going to use this equation going down or going to the left. Okay, so take a minute to write those down. All right, and then finally the last two. Okay, we're almost done. The last two is between my H and my pH. Right, we just got the last two on this side. So the last two equations, I'm going to turn my paper a little bit, is my, I'm going to zoom in for you guys, is my H plus, so my H value is equal to 10 to the caret negative pH. And going to the left, my equation is pH is equal to negative log of the H plus value. All right, so take a minute to write that down, and that's it. All right. All right, does everybody have that all written down? All right, so hopefully you got your big square now. I'm going to show you how to use this square, okay?
Can you leave
Pretty
that
awesome. All right. So let's check this out. Let's check this out. And there's the square again. So we just copied that down. So if we see a question like this. What is the pH of a solution that has a hydronium concentration of 0.000001? How you would solve this? All right, I'm going to show you how you would use our document here to solve that. So it says, what is the pH value? So it says, what is pH? I'm solving for this box. I want to get to pH. It says I have hydronium. Hopefully from yesterday, you know hydronium is H. Okay? You know you have H, right? So what you're going to do is I'm starting here. I'm finishing here. So I have to use my down equation, right? If I start here, I finish here, I'm going to use my down equation. And my down equation is negative log of the H plus value. Okay? So got a new paper. So pH is equal to negative log of my H value. Well, my hydronium concentration is 0. Let's see how many zeros are there. 5 zeros and a 1. And that's what you're going to plug into your calculator. Okay, so if you need a calculator, there should be calculators up front. Okay. All right, so plug it in. So negative, I'm going to plug it in my calculator here. So I got negative log of 0. There's 5 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 1. Close my parenthesis. I got my answer to be 6. Okay. And that's the correct answer. Mind-blowing, right? So if we have a pH of 6, is it an acid or base? All right. Hopefully you guys answered acid. Okay. Anything less than 7 is an acid. Okay. Now the next one. Oh, I did not mean to get rid of that. Oh, messed up a little bit. What is the hydronium ion? There we go. I'll present that real quick. Now, this question is a little reversed. Oh, what happened to my little dude? Got to pull back up. This question is a little reversed, where if you check it out, it says, what hydronium concentration of a solution that has a pH of 8? All right, so I have a pH. My pH is 8. It says, what is the hydronium concentration? So if I start here, I got to work my way up to hydronium. Okay, so I got to work my way up. I'm going to use my up equation. So my up equation is right here. Oh, so H is equal to 10 to the caret negative whatever my pH value is. Well, in this problem, my pH value is 8. So that's what I'm going to plug in my calculator. Okay, that's what I'm going to plug in my calculator. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try to zoom in. There we go. Whoa, that's big. Too zoomed in. I got to zoom out a little bit. There we go. So I got 10 carats. All right, use the caret. negative 8. And I got 1e negative 8. So what that means is 1 times 10 to the negative 8. Another answer you might have gotten was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did any of you get that? Because that is also correct. That is also correct. Calculators just tell them in different ways. Okay. Both of those answers are the same number, just written differently. Okay. One last question. I want you to try to solve this one. All right. If a solution has a hydronium concentration of 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 zeros and a 1. So 0.9 zeros and a 1. Is it an acid or a base? I want you to try to solve that one. Is it an acid or a base? So really, you have to go down to pH to determine if it's acid or a base. All right, did anybody get an answer? Anybody want to share? All right, so what I got was, since I had hydronium, I was going down to pH, so I used my down equation, and then I plugged in my number, okay? And I plugged it into my calculator, and the answer I got for pH value is 10. I got my pH to equal 10. Now, if my pH is equal to 10, is that an acid or a base? Well, that is a base. All right, that would be a base. And that's the correct answer. All right, now the rest of this is just practice. All right. What I want to do is I want to show you what I posted on Google Classroom so you guys can get a little introductory of what it is. Okay, so on Google Classroom, on the classwork tab, I posted pH calculations. Now, you will have to write this in with Cami. Okay, open using Cami because that will make it more, it's an image, so it will be a lot easier working with Cami. Okay, and if you need any help with Cami, just let me know. I will show you how to do that. It's pretty straightforward. But anyway, so as this is processing, you're going to be using these same equations. All right, so you're going to fill in the missing components of a chart. Okay, looks like a lot, but I believe we got this. Okay, so I need to solve for my H3O, which is same as H, right? H plus, POH, OH, and if it's an acid or a base. So right away, if I know my pH, is that an acid or a base? If I have a pH of 3.78, is that an acid or a base? Well, hopefully, since it's less than 7, you said acid. So you're going to fill in acid there. Now, I have to solve for the 3 remainder numbers. So if my pH is 3.78, what you guys are going to do, let me get rid of this. What you guys are going to do is your pH is 3.78. You have to solve for the remainder 3 corners. Okay? So like I said, the bottom is always the easiest, and working up is the next easiest. Okay? Just saying. So let's do the easiest one. I'm going to solve for this corner. So to go from left to right, I got to use this equation. So that equation says 14 minus my pH. So 14 minus my pH, which is 3.78, is equal to my pOH. Okay, so when we plug that into my calculator, 14 minus 3.78, I got 10.22. So my pOH is 10.22. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back. The pOH, 10.22. Right? Next, let's solve for my H+. I'm going to solve for my H+. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to solve for my H+. So I know this value down here, and I knew this is 10.22 now. So I have 2 values. I'm going to work up. I'm going to go up to H+. So I'm going to use my up equation. My up equation is 10 caret negative whatever my pH value is. Well, my pH is 3.78. So that is what you're going to plug into the calculator. 10 caret negative 3.78. And what I got 1.66 times 10 to the negative 4th. All right, so you could have got, depending on the type of calculator you have, I got 1.66 times 10 to the negative 4th. You might have gotten 0.000165, etc. Depending on your calculator, both of those answers are correct. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that into my OH value, 0.000166, and that's what we're doing. All right, you're just plugging in the numbers, determining if it's acid and base using the 4 corners. All right, so now I know this corner. All right, I know this corner. That was my 0.000166. So now I actually have 2 options to get to my top right corner. I can either go right or I can go up. I would prefer going up. Up's a lot easier. But that's how you hit all 4 corners on an acid-base calculation square. All right, guys, this concept, this topic is very difficult. And I tried to simplify it as best as I can using the square here. Okay. Is there any questions on what to do for today? All right, you guys will be working on this today. Honestly, we'll see how we do and maybe work on it tomorrow as well, just to get some practice in. Is there any questions? All right. Well, you guys got about 10 more minutes left of class. So try to get at least one problem done. Okay. Try to at least get one problem done. Let me know how you do. Okay. And then this is not homework. Do not do this for homework. We will continue working on this tomorrow. I'll stay on the Google Meet the remainder of the class period if you guys do have questions. If you guys don't, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow. That's a